We never planned to use a baby monitor. The apartment's small, the nursery just a few steps from our room. But someone gave us one at the shower digital, high quality, long range, with a little blue light that pulsed when sound came through. We plugged it in the night we brought our daughter home, just in case. For the first few weeks, it only picked up what we expected: breathing, rustling, the occasional sleepy whimper. The monitor sat on the nightstand, blue light glowing, the soft crackle of ambient sound comforting in a strange way. It made the house feel alive. Then, around 2:40 a.m. one morning, the audio changed. It wasn't a cry. It wasn't even movement. It was a voice. Low, distorted, and too close to the mic. We both sat up instantly. The baby hadn't made a sound, but something had spoken clear enough to freeze my blood but too warped to understand. A wet hiss followed, then nothing. Silence returned like a curtain dropping. We rushed to the nursery. She was fine. Still asleep, breathing softly, undisturbed. Nothing out of place. No open windows. No strange smells. Just the residual weight of being watched. The next night, we left the monitor on again. It happened again. Same time. 2:40 something. A voice. But this time, there were two. Faint at first, then louder, conversing in tones that sounded human in structure, but not in shape. Words formed and fell apart mid-syllable. The cadence was wrong speech reversed, slowed, looping like a corrupted tape. One of the voices was higher, the other so deep it seemed to shake the speaker. We checked every logical explanation. Frequencies crossing with another device. Audio interference from a neighbor's monitor. We even replaced it. New unit, different brand. Same result. The voices continued. One night, the blue light began pulsing erratically even though no sound played. We listened in total silence, watching the light dance faster and faster, as if responding to something that couldn't be heard, only felt. A moment later, the baby let out a sharp cry, one of the rare times she ever woke up fully screaming. We ran to her room. She was staring at the monitor camera. Not the crib, not the wall, just the camera in the corner. We picked her up. Her skin was cold. Her eyes locked onto the lens, like something inside it was pulling her focus. We started turning the monitor off at night, but the voices followed us. Not through the device, through the house. We began hearing them in other ways, faint whispers behind closed doors, unintelligible murmurs layered beneath the sound of running water. Once, I caught a sentence clearly while brushing my teeth. Not from inside the room, from inside the pipe. It said a name we hadn't chosen yet, one we both dreamed of that same night. They knew her. Not in the way family knows a baby, in the way something else might. A familiarity that existed before she was born. We stopped sleeping. We took shifts. One would sit up while the other rested, lights on, doors locked, windows sealed. But even during the day, the baby would fixate on corners of the ceiling, smile at nothing, giggle at spaces that felt wrong. The monitor remained off, but sometimes the blue light still flickered on its own. No power, no input. It just pulsed. Eventually, we tried recording it. One night, we set up a phone next to the inactive monitor, just in case. In the morning, the phone was dead. Not low battery. Empty. Every file corrupted. Every image warped. Except one. A video, only 3 seconds long. It showed the nursery empty. Then the screen distorted, and something walked past the crib. Too tall. Too narrow. Moving like footage of a figure underwater, joints bent backward, head angled toward the monitor. We deleted the video. But the monitor light hasn't gone dark since. Even now, unplugged, it pulses softly in the drawer, like something's still trying to speak. Or worse, like something is still listening. We tried getting rid of the monitor, unplugged it, removed the batteries, smashed it finally with a hammer in the backyard while the baby napped inside. Each hit echoed wrong, like it struck something not entirely present. When we were done, the plastic lay in pieces across the grass, wires exposed and sparking faintly even though there was no power source. We felt relieved for a moment. Lighter. That night, the blue light appeared again. It wasn't in the drawer. It wasn't even in the nursery. It was on the wall. Just above the crib, a soft, circular glow bloomed through the paint like something behind it was pushing forward. Faint, but unmistakable. We turned the light on. It vanished. Lights off, there it was again. Pulsing. Not with rhythm, with intention. I checked the wall. Nothing embedded. No electronics. I even knocked, ran my hands along the surface. Drywall, solid. But the glow returned every time the room darkened, like the house had memorized the monitor and was trying to recreate it. We moved her crib into our room. The voices came with it. Not immediately. There was a lull, a day or two of quiet that almost passed as peace, but then we heard the floorboards creak in her old room. Heavy, slow weight, not like footsteps. Like pressure, shifting, something pacing, not above or below, inside the walls. The sound traveled down the hall, into the bathroom, then closer. Our bedroom lights flickered at 2:43 a.m. She stirred. The static sound returned, low and dry, like wind across old fabric. We checked the baby. She was asleep, smiling faintly, mouth moving like she was mimicking a conversation, like she was remembering something. We spoke to no one about this. How do you explain that your infant daughter is being reached by something speaking through a monitor you no longer own? How do you prove a blue light without a bulb? I started taking photos. They never showed the light, not even once. But there was always something else. Shapes in the margins, glimpses of fingers where there should be none. On one photo, a reflection in the crib's railing showed the wrong version of the room where the crib was empty. And something taller stood in the corner, faceless, head tilted in mimicry of the mobile above. It stopped when we covered the walls in blackout cloth. Not the light. Us. We began to black ourselves out. No more photos. No more video. No reflections. No recordings. We unplugged the smart speakers, removed anything with a screen. Even the baby monitor app on our phones, we deleted it. But the silence wasn't empty. It pressed in harder. The house breathed louder. Sometimes we'd find handprints on the inside of the windows, too high to be hers, too wide to be ours. We moved out within the month, left most of our things behind. New apartment, new city. We didn't even leave a forwarding address. We told no one. Started over in every way possible. She adjusted quickly, slept through the night. No more odd giggling at corners. No more distant voices. We thought it was over. Until yesterday. She walked up to the wall in her new room, placed her palm flat against it, and whispered something we couldn't hear. We froze. She looked over her shoulder, smiled. Then the blue light appeared behind her head. Not a glow this time. A perfect circle, slowly turning, as if scanning. We rushed in, turned on every light, pulled her away. Nothing there. That night, the walls of the new apartment began ticking. Not a clock, not the building settling. A soft, repeated click like a button being pressed. We lay awake, watching her chest rise and fall. Her eyes twitched behind closed lids, like she was dreaming. Her mouth moved, whispered, repeated. We couldn't make out the words. But we recognized the rhythm. It was the same cadence as the voices in the monitor. I put my hand to the wall. It vibrated faintly. Not with sound, with a voice I couldn't hear, but understood. It said her name, the one we never told anyone, the one we chose silently, together, long before she was born, the one that hadn't existed outside our thoughts, the one we hadn't yet spoken aloud.